Welcome back. Joining me in the studio now is James Lucas, and he's president and co-founder of the Lost and Found Society Canada, Inc. Let's talk with James and find out more about this organization. James, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Doreen.
So please tell our viewers, what is the Lost and Found Society Canada, Inc.?
Lost and Found Society Incorporated is a beautiful place that's kind of like a recovery hub for people who are, have had battles with substance abuse problems in the past. Now, Brockville, Ontario has a huge recovery community, and I've been able to be a part of it for the past 7 years since I came here myself. And I've always asked questions of why we don't have a safe space for people to be able to go to be able to have recreation, to have different theme nights, to be able to, to hang out instead of just kind of being at one place and then that's it for the day. I wanted to be able to have an environment where everyone's able to go and, to learn, to grow, to be able to see that there's a lot of fulfillment from making those changes that are very difficult. And, there's people who go to treatment, there's people who go to detox. When someone has done treatment and it's the post part of it, how does someone stay in recovery? If they go back to everything that was the same, it's very easy to fall back into the same patterns. And this place is here so that it can enable people to have, a stage to maybe perform something that they'd like to, or to go to an event and to see other people who are doing what they're doing, making those changes and seeing like, wait a second, this is really awesome, And so it's there so that people are able to use that as a hub. Where it's like, if you want to be able to come here to talk to somebody who's going to understand, more than welcome to. If you need resources, come here. If you want to see a recovery festival and see other people performing, music, spoken word poetry, sharing their story, or maybe a letter to their addiction, it's all about being able to spread hope, and that's going to break down stigma.
I agree with you there, and as well as it doesn't exist. How did this idea come about?
Well, I've always wanted to have something where, you could meet with everybody and, say through the day you have a sober cafe, right? Where there's people who work there who understand about addiction, so that if someone's struggling, they can meet them where they're at and talk to them and point them in the right direction of what they need. Right? Maybe just be a shoulder, or a listening ear, because empathy is so important. It's not about what we can do for other people. It's more of, this is a place where you can go and to learn, and also to be able to meet other people who are doing the same thing you're doing. Because if connection's the opposite of addiction, I want to be able to stay connected to people I'm able to relate to, that I can learn from, so that I can grow.
Makes sense. What happened on September 15th, 2015?
September 15th.
2015?
September 15th, 2015. Well, September 13th is
Oh, it was 13th?
Yeah, September 13th.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
No, that's okay. September 13th, 2015 is my clean sobriety date.
Really?
Yeah, that was the last time I've ever had any mood-altering substances.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And it started the journey.
It was a start, which is it's a struggle, is it not?
Absolutely. That's what I try to explain to people so much when it comes to not understanding why someone would continuously hurt their life. And it's like, you don't ask why the addict or the alcoholic, you ask why the pain, right? What is the underlying issue to this? If I want to do something to escape the way I feel, and there's something that's reliable to help me do that, well, then that's going to be familiar to me. Talking about my feelings or being vulnerable for other people, that's not going to be my familiar. That's going to be alien to me. Yes. Because I've done this so many times and it's a repeated pattern. And when a dependency is there, the tolerance is built and the progression continues to grow, it becomes a very terrible situation for everybody all around. Because one, families, relationships, right? They're all affected in a negative way.
Yes.
Financial, right? Career, personal relationships, hobbies, interests, and then purpose. if someone uses to the point where they lose purpose, that's a really scary thing. If I don't have something that I feel that is important in my life, and I still am trapped in this cycle of what it is, of using something, it's going to be really hard for me to get out of that.
But what was the moment that the realization came to you that there's something better than what I'm doing?
There's something, it was, if I continue to do what I'm doing, I'm not going to be here for anybody. I'm going to lose my life.
Really?
And I don't have the answers, but I need to go to places and get the answers, and I need to get the help, and I don't know what that's going to look like, but I got to do it. And it wasn't, my family springing in the action to be like, we need to do this for you. My family was at the point where they didn't even want anything to do with me themselves.
Because they didn't know how to help you?
No, because I wasn't being honest about anything in my life. I had to lose everything in my life to be able to see that the only thing that was left was a bag and a bottle, and I had nobody else to blame anymore. There was nobody else there. So I can't blame it on anything else. No. But it's still in my life. So maybe if I remove that and find a way to remove that, maybe my life will change.
And it did. And it did.
Changed
and you went
drastically.
You went on to help other people. So you're actually an addictions counselor.
Yes.
But you're also many other things.
Yeah. Yeah. So for treatment, for example, I went to a 23-day treatment center, and then I was on a train, and then I went straight here to Brockville, Ontario, and I got here October 14th, 2015. And I stayed in the Brock Cottage Treatment Center 363 days.
And you found that helped?
I needed to learn how to live.
You needed to learn how to live.
I needed to get out of the way of myself and think that I had all the answers, because if I had all the answers, then why was I continuously using from sun up till sundown every day, destroying my life?
Were you getting angry during that period?
Absolutely. Of course.
Angry at yourself or angry at people?
I didn't have anyone else to blame anymore.
So angry at yourself.
I hated myself. If I loved myself, why would I want to pollute my body and escape reality? No, I had to learn. It was an inside job. So I stayed in treatment as long as I possibly could, and then through that I was able to do a lot of volunteering opportunities and help out in this community. And I was like, you know what, this place has helped me so much. And if I've learned anything about what recovery is, it's about giving back. I'm going to stay in this community. I'm going to give back every way that I can.
So there was a quote that you had made on the website, limited resources available to guide people to recovery. So this is what you're actually referring to, that phase, that after recovery, there's nothing.
Yeah, for post-recovery, when someone's done, right, you have your meetings that you're able to go to, and there's different types of meetings.
Okay.
But I mean, what about different events? Like a festival where people are able to see and have a stage to perform something that they want to, that's recovery based. Or maybe have a stage to be able to share their story, right?
What's it like for a person who's recovered from alcohol and is invited to a celebration, and that celebration is going to include alcoholic beverages? What is it like for that person?
If they're in, say, really early recovery, it's a high-risk situation.
Whoa.
Yeah. See, because now that person who's been in an environment, say a treatment facility, right?
Yes.
They've been in a safe place the whole time.
Yes.
So they haven't had that introduction to what it's going to be like when they have those cravings or they get triggered by something that happens. There's a lot of unknown factors if someone goes to one of those celebrations or maybe a wedding after they're just finished treatment, right? You think that you're strong enough to be able to withstand seeing, say, your drug of choice in front of you,
right,
until it's in front of you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Wow. That's heavy duty, because I mean, it must be so hard for individuals who are in recovery, come out and try and function in society where you turn around and there's either alcohol somewhere, or you can get drugs of any kind nowadays anywhere. And like, how do you deal with that? The hub.
The hub
Right?
is a place. It's a safe space, right? We have recreation stuff in there, so there's pool tables, an air hockey table, arcade games, right? So if you want to be able to go there and you don't want to be in a bar to play on a pool table,
Yes.
go there, right?
So is there a brick and mortar location here in Brockville that you can go? Because you were just mentioning about pool tables and things like that. Is there?
Yeah, we
Where?
have an actual location. So it's in between the 2-for-1 Pizza and Manpower, 103 King Street West.
That would be in the Oddfellows Hall years ago.
Yes.
Okay, alrighty.
Yeah.
Upstairs?
Up the stairs, last door on
A
the
lot
left.
of stairs, if I remember rightly.
Lots of stairs, true.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But is someone there throughout the day into the evening? Like what?
As it stands right now, with
Yes.
everyone who is a part of this working full time,
Yes.
and the funding that we have not had. We've been open for about a year, and it's been grassrooted this entire time.
Okay.
And it's kind of at that point now where it's like we need to be able to get this funding. We need to get it out there as much as possible because it is helping people, right? People are wanting to, and we have people coming from all different parts of Ontario to come to these,
Yes.
events that we hold.
Yes.
And it helps, right? So we want to do the funding. We've started that GoFundMe. And it's just more of like getting it out there to people so that they understand. If you want to know more about it, we would love to do like an open house, bring people in so that they can see like what we've done over this past year. It's been an incredible start. And all these different obstacles that have been in the path, that's important because it's a learning process.
Yes.
Right? I get opportunities for growth all the time, but I don't want to stop doing this because I know that it really does help people.
Well, I would think it would. I mean, it's as we said early on, there's nothing after recovery. Like you're scooted out into society. Good luck.
Yeah.
That's not right. That's not right. So I have to applaud what you're doing
It's
and,
like a
and what your team is
transition.
doing. Yeah, you're right. You're
But
absolutely
it's
right.
there,
Yeah.
right? Like it's
Yeah.
not like, okay, well, we're going to have this for this week and then we'll see you
Oh,
in a
no,
couple
no, no.
months.
It has to be
No.
ongoing,
Yeah.
continually.
And there's a big vision of what I want from this place.
So have you applied for grants?
Yes. So
you're
we
hoping that-
currently have a grant writer.
Good.
And we've applied to 2 different fundings. So we're waiting to hear back from that currently.
And you are registered.
We
as
are
a
registered
company, but
yep.
not charitably. Have you applied for that yet?
We are not connected to a charity and we do not have a charitable number at this moment.
Okay, but in the works?
In the works. Oh,
Hopefully.
of course. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I read somewhere about a cafe. So you're saying hub.
Mm-hmm.
Is the cafe separate from the hub that I was reading about?
No, it's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
The hub, you're just calling it a hub. Some people are calling it a cafe, right?
Well, no, the funding for the GoFundMe that we're working on right now
Yes.
is so that we can have a sober cafe throughout the
Okay.
day. So it's we'll have everything all set up so that people want to go in there, use the Wi-Fi if they're working on whatever work they want to do.
Yes.
Right? And it's just that safe space.
Okay.
We have, the different treatment centers that are here.
Mm-hmm.
My entire time while I was in the Brock Cottage, all I thought about was, wouldn't it be amazing if we had a place that we were able to go to and everyone could just meet up and hang out and, not just have an hour time slot with that. Wouldn't that be cool? And then it turned into this.
Yeah. Dreams do come true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they do. What about the people that... There's always been this stigma around alcoholics and addiction itself.
Yeah.
What about the people that want to keep things confidential?
That's okay.
But how can it be okay if they're going to this hub?
Because the hub itself, it has different times, say like for the meetings, to keep it anonymous.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't understanding.
We actually have like inside the place, we can block it off.
Okay.
And we can have the one side blocked off. So if there's a meeting that wants to be anonymous, there's 2 different entrances, right, as well.
Yes.
So we can have it set up that way.
Oh.
And the way it works is if it's the hours of operation that we have through the cafe through the day, the meetings would be in the evening or in the morning that would not be at those regular open times.
Okay.
Right?
I'm thinking about someone who is just going through the recovery process and they are not at the point that you're at whereby you want to share and have people understand that there is hope out there.
So that would be, I do a recovery festival every month. So for example, this Saturday, March 18th, 5:30 the doors open, 6 o'clock it starts, and from 6 till 7:30, I have 8 performers, and there's music, there's spoken word poetry, there's letters, and there's people who share their stories. And they have a stage to be able to do that, and we do that for an hour and a half. And anyone who wants to show up for that, they're more than welcome to. There's no entry cost, there's seats that are available, and that allows community to be able to see what recovery has done for people's lives. Because a lot of people that I know, someone in their life has been affected by addiction in a negative way.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to give that platform for not just the performer who's in recovery to share their experience, but for any family to come and to see and learn about it as well.
So would this be an extension of Alcoholics Anonymous?
It's not an extension, because we can have our own meetings there as well for those groups.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So it doesn't take away from anything from the community. Everything from the community still runs the way it does. We just add in different parts of it that might need to fill a gap.
Okay. Okay.
It's all about collaboration.
I was thinking that Alcoholics Anonymous is one thing. You go there, you go through your recovery, and then after, when you come out, that's where the hub comes in, or the cafe, or whatever. Because it's there to support you.
When it comes to those meetings and those fellowships, that's not just a go through and it's done. People go to those for 30, 40, 50, 60, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what it is. We want to be able to have that in there as well, and we do.
What is your website?
LostandFoundSociety.com.
Why that name?
Lost and Found Society?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for asking. So I was completely lost.
Yes.
I was able to find a solution and take suggestions from others, and I was able to change my life, and I was the last person that people thought were ever going to be able to change their life. So I was found.
Okay.
And it's a society of people who have been through what addiction does and coming out the other end of it to help the next person.
Awesome. Awesome. Is there anything else that you would like our viewers to know about the Lost and Found Society Canada Incorporated? Is there anything at all?
As it stands right now.
I like the idea that you're having something for those that are newly recovered to go to.
Yeah.
Because I think, like yourself, you probably have the tools now to be able to go to a wedding where there is alcohol, or any celebration where there's alcohol or whatever, and you can deal with it. Whereas the newbies just going through, they can't. They don't have the tools.
Yeah. You got to be able to practice. It takes a lot of self-discipline and, learning new coping mechanisms that replace what it was before.
How often does a person relapse? Any idea? Yeah.
It all depends.
Have you had any in the last year that unfortunately have gone back?
Many.
So it's very difficult then, isn't it?
It's very difficult. But I can say that tonight I am the guest speaker for someone's 3-year celebration that I helped from the beginning of their journey.
So there are some very, very good stories out there.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for coming in today, sitting down with me. Really appreciate it. So viewers, if you want to connect with James, what's the best way to reach you?
Well, you can reach me by email, jlucas@lostandfoundsociety.com, or at info@lostandfoundsociety.com. Those are our two emails, yeah.
And you will answer lickety-split.
Lickety-split.
Okay, thank you, James, for sitting down with me. Don't go away.